How's everyone doing? Am I blind or does my camera look blurry? There we go. I think that might be a little better. I don't know. Maybe it's just the abundance of pink lighting that's making it look weird. Oh well, we're dealing with it. Hello, Alexander. I see your message there. Oh, it's just a knot. Okay. How is everyone doing tonight? Hopefully you're doing well. Is anyone crafting tonight? What are you crafting? I am crocheting a new pattern tonight. Trying to come up with a hat pattern for a easy tutorial to post for you guys. And I think I've got it figured out. I just want to work out a couple little things. Hello. Your account says Van, but if I remember correctly, it's actually Michelle. Hello, Michelle. Hopefully you are doing well, and hopefully I got your name right. Because there was a few of you that had usernames that weren't your names, and you told me them last week, and some of them I remember, and I feel like some of them I don't. So bear with me if I don't remember everyone's name. How's everyone doing this Friday night? How was your week? My week was, honestly, this was a weird week for me. Yes, that was your name. Perfect. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's like gold stars for me. I was coming into the stream and I'm like, I feel like people are going to be upset with me if I don't remember their names. Hello, Leah. I remember last time I said Lee and it's actually Leah. I do remember that. Hello, hello. How are you? I've had a weird week. I don't know. It's like on one hand, I feel like it's been a weird week because I feel mentally pretty good, but at the same time, like mentally kind of exhausted. And I think it's more worry about things that are upcoming that I like shouldn't worry about because I have no control over them. I'm good. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. Like I said, kind of a weird week, but overall, I have been worse and I have been better. We're kind of middle of the road. Leah says, good job. I'm good. I feel like it's gone so slow. Yeah, I feel like this week has definitely gone slow. It's been another slow week, which is ironic because I think the last time we did this, it was also, I was saying how slow the week felt. Hello, 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 hello. How are you? Are you dressing up for Halloween? I'm not going to be dressing up for Halloween this year. No one's having any parties or anything because we still have restrictions in place. So it would only be small gatherings and it's a Sunday. So I'm probably just going to take my daughter out so she can do her first time trick-or-treating, and then that'll probably wrap it up for me for the day. So I'm not planning on dressing up this year. Maybe next year. Hopefully next year. Hi, Kevin. How are you? I missed the last week's one, so I'm so excited to join this one. I'm great. Thank you. Hope you're doing good. That's okay, Heather. And I hope you don't mean like last week, like literal last week, because I do these bi-weekly. So if it was last week, you think you missed one, you didn't actually, because I didn't do one. But if it was literally the last stream like 2 weeks ago you missed, then I'm glad you can make it for this one. I haven't slept very good all week, and last night I had a dream last night with giant worms. Oh my gosh, I have been sleeping so terribly all week as well. Like, I think that's kind of why, like, on one hand, I feel good, but on the other hand, it's like I feel almost mentally, like, I almost feel exhausted at the same time. Like, it doesn't make sense. But I think it's just wonky dreams and terrible sleep, like, all week. Maybe it's something to do with the planetary changes. Kevin says, I'm good. And you? Like I said, Kevin, it's kind of been a weird week. Overall, we're doing good. I've been worse. I've been better. So we're kind of just middle of the road, you know? I'm thinking to try and get my sleep schedule back on track. I'm probably going to do a 24-hour challenge this weekend because I might as well do that. And that'll get me back on track if I just stay up a long time and then get tired at a normal time. Where is the nod along? It is behind the screen that you guys are showing up on right now. half edited. So that will be going live tonight. I'll be uploading or knotting the second part tonight to upload. Hopefully I'll have it done for tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning, there'll be the next one, and then we'll do every day until it's done. That's what I want to be working on right now, but I don't want to work on it without filming it. So it's literally taped to the table right here, like literally right here. And I'm just staring at it. And all the strings are there and everything. It is started, and yeah, it is coming, guys. No worries. Hi, Evelyn here. Random, but you look so nice today. Makes me want to dress up nice. TMM. Does that mean tomorrow? I'm sorry. I haven't curled my hair or makeup in a while. I put makeup on because I was kind of looking a little bit like the Grim Reaper, like just eye bags. You can even see them a little bit through the makeup. But yeah, I went and put extra makeup on before coming on because I was like, I look dead. And my hair I curled yesterday because I went to the movies yesterday with some of my friends and I hadn't gone out in a while. So when I do go out, it's like you got to dress up a little bit, even if you're just sitting in the dark at the movie theater. So same. Leah says same. It could be weather changing. Mine might be weather and having so much stress. Same. I don't know about you guys, but here in Canada, aviation is nuts right now. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to get this like demonetized and like shut down for talking about worldly matters too much. But yeah, it's been a crazy week, and I expect it's only going to get crazier the next few weeks. I think it's more the stress and worry about what is to come than what's actually happened this week. Also, thank you, Evelyn. I don't think I said thank you, but thank you. I'm glad you think I look nice. I definitely think it's the ring light and like this pink light over here doing more justice than I deserve at the moment. But probably because I'm 39 weeks pregnant as of tomorrow officially. Oh, that's exciting. Congratulations. Whoo, I tell you what, I think what is full gestation? Full gestation is I don't even remember anymore. I had my daughter early because of blood pressure complications and stuff. Emergency C-section. So hopefully everything goes well. You're getting close to that time. So that's so exciting for you. Do you know what you're going to have? Did you guys find out? Or are you waiting for the surprise? I always find it so interesting because to me, I'm like, why wouldn't you find out? But some people like the surprise still. Hi, Martina. What you making? I am working on a hat pattern. Oh, that's off my wall. I was like, what is near me? I'm working on a hat pattern for you guys for a tutorial. I want to do like an easy hat pattern that's like super accessible for even the most beginner of beginners. So I did like a first prototype draft hat. It turned out pretty well. And then I did a second one and it turned out a little bit better. And I'm thinking I'm going to try and just do what I did for the second one again and see if it turns out again. And that'll probably be what I post. So I'm working on a hat. Love the mug. It's so cute. Thank you. My mom gave it to me for Christmas one year, but we don't have Disney Store in Canada anymore. So I don't know if we are going to be able to get cute things like this unless we order online now. Hi, Megan. I just want to drop a message to tell you that, wow, love the last video on the super OG alpha method. Was from that era, haha, when we used to use the method to make the name with a little symbol, two color. Yeah. I'm a little surprised the amount of comments of people saying that's still how they learned their first alpha. And there's a lot of people on there, like a lot of people as well, who don't know because I've heard that from people in discussion and stuff. So I think it's so odd, but I guess I don't spend a lot of time on friendship dash bracelets, and a few people have said there's tutorials over there on it. So I think it might be more popular if you hang out on that site a little more. And I don't really like the setup of that site. So 40 weeks, I'm dying. Ooh, yeah. That's a long time. And for me, it was like, by the time you get to that point in your pregnancy, you just feel like a whale. And everyone's like, yeah, but you're big because you're pregnant. I'm like, doesn't make me feel less like a whale. Thanks, but I'm ready for this to be over now. That was my opinion on it. Leah, I've cracked my pinky toe at least 10 times in the last 5 minutes. What are you doing to your poor toes? Are you trying to walk around and stepping them on things? Or are you literally, I am picturing someone like literally sitting there like crack, 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 like literally trying to crack their toes. What are you doing, Leah? It's my second baby girl. I had my first at 38 weeks. I was hoping it was going to be the same way around this time, but I guess baby girl has other plans for us. Haha. Yeah, my daughter was a few weeks early. 2 weeks, 3 weeks early. By textbook, I think she was like fully developed. By textbook, she was fully developed, but technically, if left to her own devices, she would have stayed in there longer. But otherwise, it turned out well. This was not a good yarn for me to pick to try and work this pattern, I am realizing. Random question, what is your day videos on your channel? Or what is your favorite, sorry, autocorrect. What is my favorite video on my channel? That's a hard one because I feel like there's some that I've enjoyed making that don't get super popular, and then there's some that I um am proud of like the results, but they weren't super fun to make. And then there's ones that I know are like favorites of viewers. Like I know a lot of people love the Nodding Dangerously, the first alpha one I did with that cherry pattern. I was getting so many messages from people that they thought that video was hilarious. And I was literally having like a mental breakdown at that table. Like multiple times I paused to stop. Like there's a lot of stuff going on in my life at that point. Multiple times I stopped to like literally wipe tears off of the table. So for me, that was like horrible, but I know that was a favorite of a lot of you guys. Um, I am proud of how a lot of my like full tutorial videos turn out because I don't think there's a lot of YouTubers that take the time to do like a full walkthrough tutorial the same way I do. And they're a lot of effort. So I'm always proud of how they turn out, but they're not my favorite to film. My absolute least favorite to film tend to be Rex Lace. As I don't mind filming Rex Lace, they're quick. It's more I find there's more of a negative viewership and comments that start happening on the Rex Lace videos than any other, which is weird. I don't know why, but that's a trend I've kind of noticed. But I think my favorite videos, personally, I think are probably the Nodding Dangerously videos, if I'm being honest, because I think they're fun to try something new and I have fun trying new things. So I think probably the Nodding Dangerously videos. And if I had to pick one of those, probably the second one where I tried the upside down method. I think probably that, to be honest. That's probably one of my favorites. I think that's up there. I do like the how long does it take to make videos too. I don't know. I like a lot of them, and some of them I'm more proud of than enjoyed making, you know? Leah, I'm laying in bed just moving my toe down and it's cracking. Are you sure it's not broken? Lloyd says, hi, I liked your recent video about two-tone alphas. It made me feel like I was standing on the shoulder of giants in the bracelet community. Lloyd, I think you commented on that video, and then did you delete your comment? Because I'm pretty sure I recognize your name, that I got a notification. And then when I went to reply to you, it was no longer there. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun one because I think there are a lot of people who don't realize that that was actually a thing. And like alpha bracelets literally mean alphabet because that's all we used to put in them, which is why you used to be able to make simple word patterns on bracelet book and submit them because that was That was kind of the purpose, and now not so much. Oh, I love your mug. Thank you. I love the Cheshire Cat too. I love Alice in Wonderland. There's just something whimsical and fun about it. Your favorite Heller is how long does it take to make? I love them. I think a lot of people really like them, and honestly, the first one I posted didn't go over super well when I first posted it, and then I had 1 or 2 viewers ask me if I was ever going to do another one, and I did because at that point, like, I didn't have a ton of subscribers, and someone had asked me directly, like, "Hey, can you do one of those videos on another pattern?" And for whatever reason, after I posted the second one, they just started to take off, and I think they've become some of the more popular videos on my channel. So I'm glad you love them. I'm not sure what my next one will be. I'm thinking maybe to do like a large wall hanging could be fun. Also extremely stressful, but could be fun. Could be fun. Hello, Amanda. Oh my God, I nearly missed the live stream again. What have I missed? You haven't missed much. We've only been live for like 16 minutes here. We've just been chatting and talking about, someone asked what my favorite videos were and just, random chat. Nothing super, super crazy yet. No, my comments still should be there. I didn't delete it at least. Okay. I wonder because sometimes I go on my computer and I notice that there's other comments there that when I try to look at them on my phone, they just like haven't updated there yet or something. So like I get the notification that people have commented, but then sometimes when I go to the video on my phone, they're not there. But then if I go like through my computer or something, they are there. So I haven't looked at that video on the computer. I just saw the notification on my phone, went to the video, and the comment wasn't showing up there. So I will make sure your comment is still there. I'll check it on the computer here. Stacy says, hello, first live stream I've caught. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad that you could get in on this one. Guys, I might abandon this as the hat pattern because I don't know. I picked a poor wool to try and recreate this a third time with. I tell you what, it's very pretty, but I don't know that it's going to do what I want it to do. Leah, Amanda, just me casually cracking my toe. Yes, we've been talking about Leah's toes. That is indeed true. Kevin, you're going to try and do the pen video, the Rex lace wrapped at the pen. I think that's the only pen video I have. Duh, Megan. It's pretty easy. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you know how to do basic Rex lace, then you should be good. It's literally just doing a like circle stitch around the pen. And it ends up pretty fun. I've made a few of them over the years. Lloyd, that's odd. I don't know why YouTube Mobile does that. I don't know either because I went to respond to your comment actually. And then I didn't see it there anymore. So I was like, oh, maybe they removed it. Which sometimes people do remove them. So sometimes I just assume, but Heller, like the cherry incident with your car, the stress that went into it was kind of funny though. The way you said things about how not picky you were with it because it turned out beautiful. Yeah, I know a lot of people loved that video. I got so many messages about how funny that video was, but there was so much going on in my life that I was literally having a mental breakdown. But like I've gone back and watched that video back because I'm like, I didn't think this video was so funny. Like when I posted it, I was like, this is a mess. So many people messaged me. I've actually gone back and rewatched that video because I'm like, what do people think is so funny? And looking back on it now that I'm completely removed from what was going on at that time, yeah, it's pretty funny. Can you spread all your toes apart like your fingers? Are you talking to me or are you talking to Leah? I can spread my toes apart like completely far. I think that has to do with the fact that I don't like wearing socks though, and I walk around barefoot pretty much everywhere I can. And I think that makes a difference. I've heard that if people like to wear socks and shoes all the time, you can tell if you look at their footprint as like their barefoot footprint compared to someone who doesn't. because your toes end up getting like pushed together more from socks. Don't know if that's true, but someone had told me that once. And so you asking makes me curious. Leah said kind of, but not far. Marissa, hello, Marissa. You said you're just coming on now. That's okay. We're not even halfway through. I don't know if we're going to do an hour, what we're going to do. Last time we had an influx of people joining the stream towards the end, so we stayed on longer. We're just going to kind of gauge it as it goes, you know? Do you think it's weird for your toes to do that? I don't think so. For me personally, like I said, because I hate socks. So it just makes, I don't know, it makes kind of sense to me that my toes would be able to spread further apart because I would walk outside, I walked on trails, I walked on rocks, like I walk everywhere in bare feet if I'm able to. So I feel like it's kind of normal for your toes to do that to like help you balance and stuff over things. I don't know. Lloyd, you're scrolling through all the alphas on Bracelet Book on page 59 so far. Oh my gosh, there's so many alpha patterns. I don't even know how many alpha patterns are on Bracelet Book, to be honest. I feel like I might be able to access that stat somewhere, but I'm not sure. I went on to Bracelet Book immediately after watching the Duo Color Alpha video and added more than 20 possible patterns to my to-do list that I'm now in a conundrum on what pattern to make. Yeah, and you know what's funny is I had to like search for a pattern with just two colors because I think most of the like two-tone alphas I've removed from my to-do list simply because I don't find them challenging anymore. I think I have a couple of large ones still for sure. And I've added some more recently while I was trying to figure out what pattern I should do for that. So for that video, sorry. So I have a few there, but I don't have a lot, I don't think. Where were we? Not me getting foot cramps now. Oops. Leah. Playing with your toes too much. Heller says both. What was that in reference to? Heller was the one who brought up toes again, about toes spreading. I'm not sure. I hate foot cramps. Me too. I think the worst foot cramp I ever got was actually when I was swimming. And that was kind of scary because I was definitely in a lake way out over my head. We made it. We're still here. But yeah, that was painful. I love how every time you live stream, we hop from topic to topic. It's funny but entertaining. That's because I literally go through the comments. So, like, I don't want to just follow one conversation topic and skip a bunch of comments. So it's kind of like following like 6 different streams of conversation. And then when it goes dead for a while and people stop posting for a bit, I'll kind of just pick a topic and go with it. And then someone else will comment and then we'll be right back to popping around. It's kind of confusing sometimes. I try to stay on top of all of them, but there's sometimes where I look at a comment and I'm like, I don't know what you're responding to anymore. Not me noticing I have weird feet. Every now and then, do you ever just like look at like a body part, like your hands or like your feet, and you definitely look at them enough? I think it's kind of the same as like saying a word over and over again. Like at a certain point, you just look at it too much or look into things too deeply, listen to things too much, and then they just sound weird. I think there's actually a name for that, but I don't remember what it is. Amanda says, I think toes being able to spread out is kind of normal. Like it probably helps with grip. That was my thought too. Because like naturally we'd be supposed to walk around in bare feet. So it would lead to reason that it would be an aid for helping us walk over different leveled terrain, I would think. Lloyd, over 1,000 pages of alphas. Oof. You're going to be there forever, all weekend. We know what Lloyd's plans are. He's going to be scrolling bracelet book alphas all weekend. It's not weird for me because I have hypermobility spectrum disorder, so I'm really flexible. Oh, that's interesting, Stacey. I don't know what that is exactly. I expect it has to do probably with your joints and stuff. We have weird joint things that run in our family as well. And I don't think it's in the same line as that. But like I know a lot of my joints, I've had doctors say like my joints float really loosely and stuff. And I definitely have a lot of flexibility for someone who doesn't work out a lot. Like honestly, we were talking about like pregnancy earlier. When I was pregnant, it was like I broke down crying at one point because for the first time in my life, I couldn't touch my toes. Like that was I've always been able to I can like put my hands flat to the ground with my legs straight, and that's just normal for me, and I don't really work out or stretch or anything on a regular basis. That's just normal. I don't know. Same as when I was in school, um, and when I've taken like karate classes and stuff, I did very, very few of them, not my thing. But like my flexibility, they try and do like holds and stuff, and they have to push really, really far until the point where the instructor stepped in and said, don't, because I feel like you're going to break something. So I expect that sounds like hypermobility. Hyper generally means over. Mobility obviously has to do with mobility. Spectrum disorder. Spectrum would imply that there's different ranges of it. That's my educated guess. Lloyd says, I love the way the topic changes so quickly. I get whiplash sometimes when we jump from serious to funny quickly. I mean, we got to keep it fresh. You can't just linger on one thing so long, you know? If we get depressing, then it's just depressing, and nobody wants to hang out in a depressing stream all night. Jeez. Come on, guys. 1,995 pages of alpha. We'll see if I ever get through them. Yeah, like I said, we know your weekend plans now. Kevin says, I'm also going to make earrings too. Are you going to do them Rex lace like the pen, Kevin? Or are you going to do them friendship bracelet? Or I believe it was you who did all the rainbow loom stuff in the picture last stream. How are you going to make your earrings? But yeah, I haven't made a bracelet or keychain in a while. I'm proud of myself though, because I did finish a book that I've been reading for a week that only has 2 chapters. You know what? Some weeks is just the little things. Like for me, last week was editing most of that alpha video, the 2-tone alpha video. It was extremely hard to edit because I hadn't made a bracelet like that in so long that I kid you guys not, most of the recorded video was me blabbing on about like, oh my gosh, like, oh, this bring back so many memories and just talking about like memories and things. But I'm like, there's so much actual factual content that I wanted to include. I couldn't also include those things, and then trying to edit out like what should be kept, what shouldn't be kept, how much of it is just me rambling, which was most of it, should be in there. So that one took a long time to edit, and that was like my accomplishment for the week, almost 2 weeks. Or I was just like, I'm not even mad that I haven't done anything else because this was enough. So I get it. What book were you reading? Hopefully something, if it took you that long, maybe it wasn't something super good, but hopefully it was decent. Heller, do you have any fears or phobias? I have a fear of smelling bad. I shower twice a day and deodorant and perfume and smelly products. I have a fear of doctors, actually. Doctors and hospitals and doctors' offices. It's technically called like white coat syndrome. And so almost every single time I go into a doctor's office, I generally end up being monitored while I'm in the waiting room for like high blood pressure because my pulse and my blood pressure just skyrocket. I've managed to get it to a point now where I don't hyperventilate when I go into a hospital or a doctor's office. But yeah, that's definitely my thing. And like some doctors don't count. Like dentists don't bother me. But an actual doctor in an actual doctor's office, that's scary. I've experienced that sensation where I suddenly focused on a body part like a hand so much that it felt kind of weird. You kind of just suddenly really notice it, and then the mind never wanders into wondering, or and then the mind wanders into wondering random things about it. Yeah, there's been times where I've like looked at my hands and I'm like, my hands look weird. Or the same as like, I don't know, like your like you said, like knees or like toes, just weird. The human brain is so odd. The things that we fixate on as people is just strange sometimes. Kevin, you're gonna make it with beads. Oh, that'll be cool. Beaded earrings. I made beaded earrings like a long time ago, but beading and bead looming was never something I got super, super into. I have done it before, but I never got super, super into it. I had troubles finding seed beads that were like consistent size. I'd buy tubes of seed beads and all of them wouldn't be the same size. So you'd have to spend your time picking out the ones that were like even enough to make a straight bracelet. Heather says, good job, Leah. I finish 4 books a week, like 500-page books. That's a lot. I definitely used to be a person that would read like a book a day like that. Not every day, like a couple times a week, but I'm someone who gets caught up in books. Like reading a chapter before bed is a good way to make me stay up all night. I can't do like a chapter or two before bed. I feel like an underreader, if that makes sense. Like I hardly read, and if I do read, I read slowly. Have you tried like audiobooks? Like there's definitely a bit of a learning curve if you're not used to audiobooks to listening to them. When I first started listening to audiobooks, I couldn't do anything else but sit and listen to the audiobook. Like I couldn't clean. I literally couldn't do anything. I had to focus on the story. But now I've definitely gotten used to listening to them, and I can do like pretty much whatever while I'm listening to them within reason. Like obviously I can't like write an email and listen to the story fully, you know, things like that. But I found that they kind of helped me. And when I feel like I'm not reading as much as I would like to or as much as I used to, I'll generally turn to audiobooks because I can still get the other stuff I have to get done in a day done. And I still get to consume my books. I enjoyed the rambling and reminiscing in the duotone alpha video. Yeah, you enjoyed it because I cut out 90% of it. There was a lot of just me like pausing and going like, oh my gosh, like this is so weird. And oh my gosh, I haven't made a bracelet like this in so long. And oh my gosh, it's been like 10 years. It's been 10 years. Like just crazy stuff like that. And I went on a whole tangent about the first alpha I ever made and remembering it. And um yeah, stuff like that. So I cut out a lot. Some of it I would have liked to have maybe kept in. Like I think it would have been kind of a fun little story to have my first alpha in there because I do remember what it was, but I wanted to get more information based stuff in there. Is there any friendship bracelet community history that you didn't get to share in the video that you really wanted to? Mm, I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, I think it really depends on where you learn bracelets from and stuff. Like, for me, I started bracelet making before. I'm not even sure when Friendship Dash bracelets came into existence. I know Bracelet Book came into existence in 2007, I believe. And before that, the main like friendship bracelet site everyone used was Heather's Friendship Bracelets. I think I mentioned it in that video, but it was like a blog and all of the patterns on it, they didn't have pictures. They were just literally text. So you just figured out text And then you'd make your, I feel like I have an eyelash in my eye. Sorry, guys. Oh, no. Sorry if this bugs some of you. There we go. Okay. Where was I? Heather's friendship bracelets. Yeah. So it was just text. And I think a lot of people who are older to the community learned patterns from text. Like there were some books that had your basic patterns like candy stripe, chevron, those type patterns. And you could get those in books. I know Klutz had a book. The book I had was called Friendship Bracelets, and it was by Camilla Grisky. And like there was a couple other ones as well, but they basically had the basic ones. Everything above and beyond that, you pretty much learned from text on. Heather's friendship bracelets was honestly the main one I remember. And then I remember maybe a couple years later finding friendship dash bracelets. Because at that point I was just basically like, alpha bracelets are just letters. So I would just come up with the pattern in my head, which is why, like, I think there was one video, the Daisy alpha tutorial I posted. People were asking me what the pattern was that I used for the text, and I didn't use a pattern. I just pulled that out of my head because that's how we used to make them. You didn't have a pattern for everything. You had to come up with it. So once I figured out how to do that, then it was just all in my head. Then I found friendship dash bracelets, and then bracelet book was made. As far as bracelet like community history goes, there was some beef between the two websites for a while. For a few different things. But I think other than that, like that was the main thing. Heather's friendship bracelets then had a forum for a while, and everyone made patterns with like this cross stitch generator, which I think some people still use. I think it's popular for posting patterns for VK and stuff, but I don't really dabble in VK or anything, so I don't know a lot about it. Otherwise, though, I think that's really all I super wanted to share in that video. As far as alpha bracelets go, I mean, you could do a whole video on some of the drama that's happened, but I don't want to go into that because that gets into people's like personal business and stuff. Leah, deep and dark and dangerous. I loved it. It just took a while to get into. I don't think I've heard of it before. Is it? Sounds like it's either a romance novel or a cliche werewolf novel or like a fantasy novel. Which of the above? Heller, it's okay. I just keep my nose in a book. It's where my ugly nose needs to be all the time. Oh, don't say that about yourself, friend. Honestly, there has been many a year where I have done the same thing. I just kept my nose in a book, and that was how I made it through life, you know? Escapism is definitely how I deal with a lot of things, which isn't always great, but you know, we learn to cope how we learn to cope, I guess. Oh, the dentists feel my fear when they walk into the room. Oh no. I get weirded out by veins. Like, why are they there? I know why logically, but still. I think it's more, I don't get weirded out by veins. I think it's sometimes get weirded out that you can see them through your skin. Like I can see all the veins in my like wrist. That sometimes weirds me out a little bit because I'm like, what if I just accidentally did like this and it cut a little bit too hard, and then you just go down you're like, why are they so close to the surface that I can see them? And then you realize like they're close, but they're not that close. It's weird. Amanda says, "Oh my god, same. If I get into a book and really like it, I'll wind up not sleeping." Yeah, I get too caught up in it and I will just stay up until it's done. I can't. I have tried so many times to like read a couple chapters and they'll be like, "No, no, Megan, you have to stop. You have to stop." I'll put the book down and I will literally be kept awake at night going, "I really want to know what happens next. Like I need to know." And I end up sitting up and reading it. Heller, I got a fat nose, no offense to it. Friend. Amanda says, I personally prefer physical books over ebooks. Only got into audiobooks when I started nodding again because it lets me achieve two things I want to do. Done. Finish my bracelets and read a book. Yes. I prefer physical books over ebooks as well. The only time I've ever done ebooks is if I've gone on vacation. Honestly. I just because apparently it's not socially acceptable to carry like 7 500-page novels in your carry-on. Who knew? But I'll still generally bring like one physical book, and then I do have an e-reader. It just hardly sees the light of day. But audiobooks, I enjoy audiobooks because like you said, you get to get 2 things done at once. Leah, yeah, I like never understood the audiobook. Like I have to have the actual book in my hands to have the audio. My teacher is reading aloud and I hardly understand it. Yeah, I had a really hard time when I first started listening to them. I would literally have to stop everything I was doing and like not look at anything, just literally sit. Sometimes I would literally turn the lights off so I couldn't look at anything and get distracted. Literally sit and just listen. And I would only listen for like short snippets because I'd get bored just sitting there. And then after a while of like training my brain, I guess, to understand it and pay attention to it, it became a lot easier. Damn, your skin is perfect. Please tell us a little about your skincare routine. I don't really do anything for my skin. Not gonna lie. I use CeraVe moisturizer and micellar water to clean my skin, and like a retinol once a week, maybe twice a week. That's it. I don't do anything crazy. I don't use any fancy soap or anything. Also, weird comment. Michelle says, good night, Meg. See you next week. All right. See you next week, friend. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Leah, it's a ghost story. Ooh, fun indeed. We love some ghost stories, paranormal and stuff. I love it. Yes, exactly, with the veins in the wrist thing. Yeah, see, I knew what you were getting at. Kevin says, I sent you a picture. Did you, Kevin? Oh, yes, you did. I see the notification here. Give me a moment. Oh, someone has tagged me in a post. Hello, Marissa. I see your tag. Oh, cute. You're into the Christmas stuff already? Friend, it's not even Halloween yet. Those are Kevin's earrings that he's making with beads. Very cute. And you, if I remember correctly, from our last live stream, I almost said video session, live stream, you sell things at like Christmas fairs and stuff too, don't you? You never had any acne problems? I did have some when I was younger, but I just kind of, what ended up controlling it was retinol. Michelle says, happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to you too. I hope if you're dressing up and going out that you have a good time, you stay safe, and yeah. Kylie, what are your thoughts on the ratio of Christmas winter patterns to year-round patterns for a Christmas craft show? Ooh, I don't know because I have never sold my bracelets at a Christmas craft show before. I think my mom used to do craft shows, but she would specifically do them at Christmas, and she would do like specifically Christmas decor stuff. So obviously, again, not a great comparison. But I would say to have a mix because, like, for me, this is the first year I think I've ever worn a Halloween pattern, and it's because I don't know, I just really like this pattern. But normally, it just bugs me because by the time I make it, the holiday's generally there right away, and then I feel like I have to take it off, and it's kind of wasted, and then I forget about it the next year. So I honestly feel like you could go 50-50. If it's a Christmas craft show, maybe go a little heavier on the winter or Christmas patterns. But Yeah, I don't know, holiday patterns aren't really my thing. So for me, I would probably make very few just because I don't personally enjoy wearing them. But if you're doing like wall hangings and stuff, that's a different story because I feel like that becomes a decoration then and it gets tucked away and every year gets pulled out with the Christmas decorations. As far as actual bracelets go, though, I'm not a fan of holiday or Christmas patterns, to be honest. Apparently, it's not socially acceptable to carry 7 500-page novels in your luggage. This cracked me up, but I get you. I also compromise by bringing only one physical book. But because I'm a bit of a bitter bitch about it, it will be a thick book like Middlemarch or something. Oh my gosh. Yes. Like, no one's ever told me I can't, but at the end of the trip, when you're trying to like pack the extra stuff into your suitcase, that 20-pound carry-on that's full of novels is kinda like you just have to accept that it's maybe not the most practical of things. So, yeah, I think one year I brought, like, 3 like, the last 3 Harry Potter novels, which are all, like, massive chonky boys, and then a couple, like, thick and, like, I prefer hardcover, so my books are extra heavy, but yeah, I same thing, yeah. I'd prefer to have the physical ones. I'm tired. See you next live. I was up at 5:30 a.m. I'm tired. So I'll see you next time. Love you, Meg. Thank you for joining us, Heller. I hope you had a great Friday and I hope you have a great weekend. Happy Halloween if you're doing anything or if you celebrate where you live. Otherwise, sweet dreams, friendo, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Amanda says cute earrings, Kevin. Lloyd says, "Oh, so I'm also the person who did the Elmo on fire bracelet. I made my ghost bracelet based on your recommendation. I'm working on a fire one now." Oh, yes. Yes, and we were talking about all the patterns last week because you only had the Elmo pattern colors with you, and we had gone through a bunch of different patterns. Yes, I remember that now. Leah says, "I would tell you about it, but I don't want to spoil anything. When I tell people about books that I've finished, I'll basically tell them the whole story." I used to be really, really bad for that. Honestly, I used to be really, really bad for that until I really got into writing. And then I found the joy of leaving people on cliffhangers. And then I found a way to every time I described a book to someone, I was like, and if you want to know what happens from that point, you'll just have to read it. So, yeah, that was kind of my compromise there. Now I'm not so terrible at it, but I used to, same thing. I used to just give away everything. Kevin says yes for the Christmas fairs, and thank you, Amanda. And Lloyd says same, Leah. Yeah. I feel like I still kind of do that for movies and stuff. I try not to, but sometimes it just slips out and then I realize and I'm like, "Oh, whoops." I think I think I did that in a live stream actually. We were talking about a book or a movie. I don't remember which one it was, and I was like, "Oh," and when someone dies, and I was like, "Oh, spoiler." I think it might have been Divergent, to be honest. I can't remember why though. I think someone had maybe mentioned it, and then it came up because I don't really enjoy that series, to be honest. I had those books and I gave them away. Yes, that's glad I'm not the only one. Yeah, definitely, definitely not the only one. Lloyd has made it to page 99 of the Alphas on Bracelet book. Congratulations, Lloyd. You're still very far away from the final goal. Do you guys have any book recommendations? Ooh. Since we're talking about books so much, I need them. I've got so many books on my shelf that I haven't read yet. It's comical. It's actually not comical. It's like I feel like I want to cry sometimes when I look at how many are there, and I'm like, I just haven't read them. Lloyd says small steps. Yes. Yes, fair enough. We will celebrate your successes. Page 99 is fantastic. Actually, like, that's a lot of patterns to go through, like, completely honest, that is so many patterns to go through. So, that's a lot. Like, I don't even remember how many pages I go through when I did my last few, clean out my to-dos, but I don't even get through my entire to-dos, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm done with this, I don't wanna look at anything anymore." So, kudos to you, friend. Is anyone dressing up for Halloween this year? What are you going as, if you are? If not, do you even live somewhere that celebrates Halloween? Because I shouldn't say I don't think, I know not every country celebrates Halloween. And some countries have celebrations that are kind of on or around the same time, but aren't called Halloween. Like, I think Dia de los Muertos, like Night of, I wanted to say Night of the Living Dead. That is not what I meant to say, but like I think Mexico has Dia de los Muertos, and I think England has a different celebration in fall. Amanda says the habit of having more patterns on my to-do list than I can actually make carries over to my bookshelf. I also have an ever-growing pile of unread books I bought. Same, 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 same. All Souls Day. I'm not sure if that's what it's called, to be honest, Amanda. I don't I'm going admittedly, I don't know a ton about Mexican culture. Um, but I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the movie Coco is based on it, and I just can't think of the English name for it. And I think it goes over a few days, if I remember correctly. I literally just read up on it because one of my coworkers is from India, and he was asking me about like the historical significance of Halloween and the Celtic and pagan traditions behind it and everything. And I can't FaceTime right now, sir. Are you guys still there? Okay. Sorry, I got a FaceTime call there. Give me 1 second. Let me respond to. Okay. Sorry, guys. Keeps cutting me off. What was I literally talking about? Oh, we were talking about the historical significance of Halloween and stuff. And I literally just read it because then I got curious about what countries actually celebrate Halloween. And I cannot. Dia de los Muertos in Mexico, we celebrate that. Yes, Tam. What is the English name for that holiday? That is literally the holiday that I am talking about. I believe that starts the evening of October 31st and carries, I think, for a couple of days. I think. I could be utterly wrong, but I think that is kind of the equivalent of a tradition based on similar pagan ideas to what we celebrate here as Halloween. Yeah, you recommend the book if you like mystery. Okay. Is it like one of those person is killed, comes back to help solve their own murder type books? I haven't actually read a book like that, to be honest. On a similar note, the Bohemians, the lovers who led Germany's resistance, made me cry. I assume that's. Oh my gosh, I completely skipped one of your comments here, Lloyd. I apologize. And I skipped a comment from Leah. I apologize, guys. So Leah said the basics are this family went to a cottage that her and her sister went to as kids, and something happens to one of their friends as a kid there. I tried so hard not to say too much. Okay. I feel like that's oddly reminiscent of a movie that I watched, but I like not quite the same. This seems far from what you read in terms of genre, but The Light of Days by Judy Battalion is about women who led resistance to the Nazi regime during World War II. I try to read a lot of stuff. Stuff like that I'll only read once in a while. I do read it, but it's hard for me to stay engaged with it a lot of the time just because nonfiction just isn't really my thing. I can sometimes get into historical fiction, but it's like I'm slowly branching out into more genres than just fantasy and sci-fi. So Leah, you recommend the book if you like mystery. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense given your earlier comment I've now read. And then Lloyd, on a similar note, the Bohemians, the lovers who led Germany's resistance, made me cry. I assume if it's on a similar note, is that also to do with the world wars? Day of the Dead, that's what Coco is based on. Yes. Yes. That is the date I am thinking of. Floyd says, where I am, people celebrate Halloween, but I'm lactose intolerant and allergic to all the candy, so I don't bother. Oh, that's not nice. That sucks. Hopefully you find yourself some kind of treat and you just snack on that. That's what I would do. I'd be like, can't have that. Let me go buy myself an ice cream cake. Obviously, you're lactose intolerant. Don't eat ice cream cake, but you know what I'm saying. Like, get myself something I like and to hell with the rest of y'all, you know? A call from your brother again? No. I finally told him, I was like, can you not call every other week on a Friday evening at the time you've been calling? Because you're calling while I'm literally in a live stream. Either call later or call a different day of the week. And he was like, oh, he thought I was just ignoring him. But I was like, yeah. So that was not my brother calling. No. The day of death. It's the night of November 1st to November 2nd. Okay. And I think some of the backing original traditions of that are the same as the original traditions of Halloween. And they've just kind of fused out into their own holidays. It's okay. Lots of comments. I appreciate your effort. Thank you, Lloyd. I did not mean to miss comments. And yes, it's also about World War II. So many comments, lol. Yeah, there's another one that I actually have. Do I have it in my Audible library or just in my wish list? The Tattooist of Auschwitz. I want to read that one. And actually, my mom read it. Funnily enough, I'm pretty sure my mom read it and she was talking about how it was really good. So I am intrigued. Like, I do like those books. I just don't read them a lot. Like, I can't consistently read them. I don't find them super, super enjoyable. They're kind of like a once in a while thing. One of two. Okay, Leah. Summer at the lake house with wonderful Aunt Dulles and little Emma. Allie can't wait. Her mother, Claire, Dulles' sister, says the lake is dangerous and refuses to let Allie go. Is there a monster in the lake? Leah, now you're understanding how to explain books to people. You just leave them on a cliffhanger. Just like that. I think right now I'm in the middle of an audiobook. It's the second in the series. It's the second in the Book of Temeraire series by Naomi Novik. I'm enjoying it, but I think I prefer the other two books I read by her better. But so far, they're pretty good. I don't hate them. I'm definitely enjoying them, but I'm not like binge consuming them like some other novels I've read. Lloyd says World War II books especially can be really depressing since you know so many people will die. Probably best not to read them all the time. Yeah, and I just think a lot of the contents of it is just heavier in general. And like I said before, like a lot of reading for me, because I don't watch TV or anything, like that is one of my main sources of entertainment a lot of the time. And yeah, I like reading something like serious once in a while, but if you just consume serious all the time, I feel like it's not entertainment then, you know what I mean? So I read them once in a while, but same really to do with any historical fiction. I find that's kind of the case just in general. Historical fiction tends to be a little heavier. And I'm slowly branching out into it. But I generally end up sobbing like baby when I read them. I'm not going to lie. I just found an alpha of the meme where Homer sinks into the bush. LMAO. Talk about topic change. There's your whiplash of the day, folks. We just went from World War II, depression, to the Homer meme. I'm currently obsessing over the book The House in the Cerulean Sea. I think mostly because of how the author, T.J. Klune, describes scenes and the sensations the characters feel. They're detailed, but not J.R. Tolkien / Thomas Hardy detailed. Yeah, I tried. I think I said this last time, actually. J.R. Tolkien, I tried to get into reading a couple. I tried to get into The Hobbit once, and I think I was just too young for when I was trying to get into it. And then I tried to get into Lord of the Rings, and it's a lot. And I'm just not that invested in it, to be honest. But I feel like who else does that? George R.R. Martin, I feel like has heavy descriptors. And I haven't read anything by Anne Rice as like a grown adult, but I remember when I was in high school and reading Anne Rice that I found her stuff to be very descriptive and again like just denser reads. Lloyd says same. I also cry at many historical fiction books because yeah, they're mostly depressing. Important. I do think they're important to read, and I do think it's important to know our history so we don't repeat it and stuff like that. But yeah, they're definitely like you're going to cry. Kevin says, when I do Christmas fairs, I make 25 and more, but I have order sheets and I make more of the others if people are looking for a gift. That's cool. My mom used to do that too for some things. She'd take orders for specific like arrangements and specific decorations and stuff, just because sometimes people will see something and then there's only one of it or whatever. Lloyd says LMAO. I think that was probably to our depression to Homer meme topic switch. Hey, how are you today? I am doing pretty good. How are you? And the spammers are here, folks. Okay. Shushed some of them. My goodness. Okay. Okay, YouTube is catching up with me removing our spammers here. Where were we in our actual people here having conversations? Amanda says, Anne Rice is detailed. If you like that, you might like Deborah Harkness's series. I feel like I've heard that name before. Anne Rice is, again, one that I can read, but not like back to back to back to back. Leah, 3 of 3. I feel like I missed 2 of 3. Leah, you didn't send 2 of 3. Sissy won't stop talking about something that happened years ago when Duelist and Claire were Allie's age. Duelist? Am I saying that right? I don't know. Allie thinks Sissy is trying to scare her with a ghost story. Read to find out what happens. Lloyd, interesting comments. Yeah. Why people spam, though? I think because they expect that they're going to get a reaction when it's a live stream. And I don't know, to be honest. I think a lot of people think it's funny. Some people do react outrageously to it. So, like, I think people do it to get reactions. We seem to have just hit like 90 of them at once this time around. That's all. Jeez. Gotta love the block button, actually. Yes, I did. It's there. I see it on my end. Let me go through all these messages saying I've blocked and deleted people here and see if I can find it. I see one of two. Summer at the lake house with wonderful Aunt Dula's and little Emma. Allie can't wait. Her mother, Claire, Dula's sister, says the lake is dangerous and refuses to let Allie go. I see that one. And then the next one I see is 3 of 3. Sissy won't stop talking about something that happened years ago when Dulles and Claire were Allie's age. Allie thinks Sissy is trying to scare her with a ghost story. Read to find out what happens. Yeah, I don't see a second one. I appreciate your self-control. Thanks. Honestly, it's gonna sound really terrible, but I'm used to being harassed like that. So I kind of just don't react to it anymore. I'd rather it happen on the computer, to be honest, because I can just block them. It's worse in real life when they start trying to follow you into stores and stuff. Love that. God, so much spam. I know. Lloyd says I also don't see number 2. Yeah, I don't know where that went, Leah, but I don't think number 2 is here. On my end, it's by when Lloyd said the Homer meme pattern. Yeah, I have one of 2. That's after Lloyd says, yes, it's also about World War II. So many comments, LOL. Then I have year 1 of 2. But then I get to Lloyd's. I just found an alpha of the meme where Homer sinks into the bush, LMAO. And then I see Amanda's comment about the house in the Cerulean Sea. And then another comment from Amanda, and then a typo correct from Amanda. Then Lloyd about historical fiction, Kevin about Christmas fairs and order sheets, Lloyd laughing, and then a string of spam. Amanda then saying Anne Rice is detailed. If you like that, you might like Deborah Harkness's series. Another string of spam. And then 3 of 3. Sissy won't stop talking about something that happened years ago. That's all I see. Allie prevails and takes off for an idyllic vacation. I don't see it. Lloyd says, could you send it again? Maybe. Yeah, try sending it again. I don't know why. Like, I don't think. Hold on here. Let me try something. No, I even switched my chat because I had it as like top chat. So some things that are potential spam might not be visible, but I just changed it to all and I still don't see it. Sounds interesting though, even just from those 2 sections. Tam says, I have just read We Have Always Lived in the Castle. It's a classic, but it's super short and spooky. I loved it. I have never read it. I don't think I've heard of it before, to be honest. Yeah. I still don't know where Leah, sorry, I apologize. Leah's comment went the second part. That's weird. That makes me feel bad because it makes me wonder if people have commented before and I've never seen it for some reason. I don't like that because I try to respond to everyone. Lloyd says he remembers the book you're talking about, Tam. I don't think I've ever heard of that, to be honest. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I think I'm probably going to sign off because it's almost 9 o'clock and I haven't had dinner yet. I basically went to work, did some running around, got home, and immediately came to live stream. So Lloyd says it was kind of creepy, but fun though. Maybe I'll have to check it out. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to end it here because I am hungry. So I will talk to you guys all next week. Maybe this weekend. We'll see. I'm going to look into maybe doing one of the not along videos as a live stream. We'll see if I can figure out a way to do that nicely. So we may chat again this weekend, but for now, I hope you guys all had a wonderful Friday. Thank you for joining me in the wind down on mine. And hopefully you all have a great weekend and happy Halloween to anyone who is celebrating. Stay safe and I hope you have fun. Page 120. Bye. Good job, Lloyd. You're making significant progress. I'm impressed. Good night and thanks. No problem, Tam. Bon appetit. Thank you, Amanda. Leah said maybe it's some of the words in it, not swear words, but like meanish words. Quite possibly it may be held for review. I don't even know where I would go to see that in the live chat. I might be able to look at it after though. I'll take a look and see if I can figure it out. And Kevin says, you too. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.